Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to That'd Be $8, the podcast, aka the Black Awareness Rally podcast, affectionately taken from the movie Coming to America. You could be rocking with anybody else in the world right now, but you are here with us, and for that, we do appreciate you. It's your man Pledge alongside my main man B. Yeah, we hear you.
Testing, testing, testing. All right, there we go. All right. Yeah, what up, y'all? Sorry about that. Well, set up a little different today. Throwing up a little bit. What's happening with you, man?
Not much, man. Just maintaining, holding everything down. What's going on with you?
Chill on, chill on. Yeah. Oh, actually, no, I take that back. Man, I got to start like underselling what I'm doing. Uh, Actually, pretty ecstatic, man. I had a chance to speak to a youth group yesterday, and that was pretty dope. So that was the highlight of my week.
That's awesome, man. Was it in person, via Zoom? Like, how was
No,
it?
it was on Zoom. It was a church group, and matter of fact, Max on church, they uh were looking for somebody to speak to the kids about the social climate out here in the world. So Max on threw your boy a lob. Like, oh, that was pretty cool. The kids were pretty cool. They were well informed, and that just made for a great time last night. It was about I think it was 6 o'clock last night.
Nice, nice. I mean, it's cool that either the kids want to have that conversation or the leaders, the adults in the room, are leading the conversation. I
Mm-hmm.
think that especially kids nowadays, I think they get sent so many messages
Right.
that it's good for people that are like you that are experienced in the field to have those conversations to give them perspective on what's going on. Because either way, they're gonna hear about it and they're gonna find out what's going on. But for somebody to kind of put things in perspective for them is major, and for them to be open about it, and share how they see things, is good for them as well. Because I think one thing that this past election has taught us, and one thing that we see is that we have a very vocal group of young people that are coming up,
Right. Right.
um, and so they're gonna say how they feel about things. This is one group that's not shy
Mm-mm.
about that.
Mm-mm.
So I think it's good for them to kind of get some guidance on what they're seeing and what they're experiencing.
And how they can
Um,
interact.
yeah, how they can interact. So yeah, so big up to you for that, man. I know that's major. I know you don't want that smoke with them in basketball no more, but good to
Oh
see that you.
no. Oh no. Give me about I've been thinking a lot about that, trying to get back in the game. Uh, just trying to figure out how to get to the gym because I feel like I need the gym to get ready for that again. I know somebody be like, you can just go out there and jog, but you got to get the muscles back because
Yeah,
jogging and having wind ain't enough. You
true.
can't do nothing. So, um, yeah, man, that's been on my mind actually. You still be hooping?
Sporadically. I mean, I did have a very very good situation for about 2.5 3 years to where I was playing consistently like 2 mornings a week, like unquestioned year round.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a really good situation. Right now, that I mean that came to an end probably about a year ago. That ended, and so now I just play every once in a while. Somebody be like, "Hey, we playing here, we playing there."
Yeah.
I still get out with the high school team that I'm volunteering with. I still get out with them.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll run up and down with them. But right now, it's more about putting in work with the young bucks that are coming up. So
Trying to get them ready.
yeah, trying to get them ready.
Yeah, man. Me and Drill been hooping lately. He been
Oh,
like, man,
okay.
we need to find a 35 and older league.
Yeah.
So that at least that'll give me something to do to keep. health in the forefront of my mind, like fitness or whatever. So
Yeah,
see,
it's
he,
still
he just said he at the gym now.
oh, okay. I
Uh,
mean, I'll be real with you. It's still one of the best feelings in the world when I get out there.
yeah.
So yeah, it still hasn't gone away.
And I was just
It's just
talking to somebody
opportunities
this
are
week.
few and far between. What's up?
Matter of fact, I got a perfect question for you. We can do this week. I'm gonna ask you. Once we knock out these formalities. What up, Wally? What up, Jarrell? Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Oh, here, Elliot go. Here you
Ah,
go.
come on. Here this guy, here
Here
this
you
guy
go.
go. Here
Here
you
you
go.
go.
Every time we start talking about basketball,
he got to show
he
up.
want to insert himself in the conversation.
um, let's go ahead and get to it. Black and white is railing because I already feel it. I feel it for to be some,
It's
some
coming now.
smoke in the
It's
city.
coming.
Smoke in the city. uh, Black and white is railing. Brought to you by man, Elliot threw me off with that. Sexual chocolate. Yeah, brought to you by Sexual Chocolate, Randy Watson. The venerable Sexual Chocolate and Randy Watson. Title sponsor. Also brought to you by McDowell's. Feel me? Uh,
Drive through still popping.
Still popping. Hey, that inauguration party still happening?
Hey man, we trying we working on it, man. These
Uh,
these cases keep going up, but we trying to make it happen though.
yeah, man. But New York shutting stuff down, so they might be ready for January. We don't know.
Maybe Biden and Harris can use that as the Queen's HQ
There
spot.
you go. There you go. That makes sense to me. Yeah, I mean,
I
so
mean, you're right there amongst the people.
right,
So
right. People that put you in office, matter of fact.
yes,
So yeah, y'all shout out McDowell's. Also, International Cuts. CUTTZ. That's the our principal sponsor. Waleed the
yes.
Barbershop and located in the West Shore Mall in Tampa, Florida. Y'all see them folk. You can actually get a haircut there. He will be there. He is
Yes.
his customer service is a whole lot better than McDowell's is gonna be at this time. Uh, yeah, yeah, Drew, we got to go out there and see everybody. We got to go see everybody. All hell Donald Duck. Donald Duck going to hell. How about that? Now we got to put some respect on Donald Duck name. We got to give Cheeto a different nickname. We can't muddy Donald Duck's name that way. Uh, but anyway, yeah. What you got for the Black Awareness rallies?
I mean, I was gonna start with the community moment, and I mean, I really want to give the like I was gonna try to like single somebody out, but I really just want to give the whole state of Georgia props for what you guys did, not only in the election,
Mm-hmm.
what you guys did, but you guys have the January 5th runoff election, and I mean all the work that everybody throughout the state is putting in.
Mm-hmm.
I think I heard that Stacey Abrams registered 800,000 people for the presidential election
Mm-hmm.
throughout the state of Georgia.
Yeah.
And and you guys got some heavy hitters that are coming down there. Barack gonna come down there and do some work. I think 45 was down there. He was either there this week or he's coming this coming week or whatever. But right now, all eyes are in Georgia. But I know that you guys have been putting in work, and you guys know that it's not over yet. So shout out to Georgia. That's my community moment for the week. Is what all y'all are doing in Georgia to try to get the Senate race tightened up. So
Man, I want to shout out the church that was hosting that conversation with the kids last night. I think it's First University, Seventh Day Adventist Church down there in Tampa. Uh, Big up to the local people. We've been doing pretty good with keeping up with local efforts around here. Um, yeah, shout out to them for hosting the class on Saturday night, engaging kids in civics and political awareness. And man, that kind of warmed my heart. So big up to them for putting that at the forefront of one of the parts of educating a child and rearing them in the village. So shout outs to them. Um, Where you going? You got I just feel like I've been real off with sports and entertainment lately, man. I can't. I don't know. I don't like I ain't got the bandwidth for it. Oh, you know what? I got some. Let's go to sports and entertainment. Uh, Jingle Jangle finally dropped on Netflix. That's the Christmas movie that is the all black cast starring Felicia Rashad and I think Forrest Whitaker in there and a few other people that are instrumental in the movement. What's going on, Ham? What's going on, LA? So shout out to them. That dropped this Friday. So if y'all haven't checked it out, please do so. See if we can get that in the top 10 for Netflix streams this week. And thanks, L. L said it was awesome. I don't know if I'm trying to wait to watch it around the holidays, a little closer to Thanksgiving or Christmas. But I feel like that's gonna be a good time for the group. I might watch it around Thanksgiving when we mount up for Friendsgiving up here. Yeah, a lot of people saying it was pretty good, man. Kind of looking forward to uh, getting a chance to check that out. Y'all caught it yet, Pledge?
No, I haven't caught it yet. And like you, I was kind of thinking to catch it more so towards the holidays,
Mm-hmm.
so it can have that holiday feel. But it is getting a lot of buzz and a lot of pubs, so it's definitely something that's on the list to check out.
Yeah. Thanks, L. L says a musical. Yeah. But we're
Yeah.
gonna watch it. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna support. Maybe I'll hey Drill, does Netflix count streams? Anybody know how Netflix counts streams and engagement? Can I like start like the first 2 minutes of it and they get a credit as a stream? Because I don't want to ruin it.
Turn it on right now while you're doing the show,
Yeah, yeah.
and you ain't got to watch it,
There you go. There you
but
go.
it's gonna count as a stream.
We need to have that them engagements. All right.
Yes.
What you got for arts and entertainment?
A lot of people are forgetting because of the COVID situation that Tampa is actually hosting the Super Bowl this year. It's kind of an
Really?
afterthought because it will not be a major event like everybody anticipated would.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give a shout out to not only Tampa hosting it, but the weekend was announced as the halftime entertainment for this year's Super Bowl. So I want to give a nod to them. I know it's going to be a totally different feel. I think they said maybe about 20,000 people they're planning
Yeah.
to have for the Super Bowl. But hopefully Tampa gets a chance to run it back in a couple of years because I know this is something that a lot of people were anticipating
Mm-hmm.
being able to host. And but as I said, we do have the weekend that is doing the entertainment. So
Is it in February this year?
yeah, it's in February.
I don't know. We get these Senate seats in Georgia, boy. Joe and Kamala might be able to hit the ground running with this COVID maneuvering. So,
Yeah, well, they're saying that the vaccine they should start maybe late December, early January. So
they
I'm not sure.
who?
I saw it on. I don't know who. I don't know because I think 45 is just checked out. Like I don't even think he's trying to do anything
Yeah.
right now. So, but the pharmaceutical companies who are in charge of doing who are in charge of the trials, they're the ones that are announcing they'll be ready to just move them out December, January. So
All right. All right. Well, that's what's up. Hopefully, we start to see some normal social activity by June or May, because I know we still got to make the batches. So even if we do get one approved, uh,
yeah,
yeah, L, we got
and
we got Operation Warp Speed. So Donald Trump got Operation Warp Speed going. It's gonna be the fastest vaccine ever created to combat the China flu, the China virus. You you had to try. You had the chance
it's
to catch that.
kung flu.
Yeah, this cat won't stop, man.
Those are not my words, people.
No,
I'm
yeah,
just
we ain't saying that. That ain't us. We're repeating your leader's sentiments. That ain't how we personally feel about it. But
I'm saying I want that smoke. But,
you had a chance to catch that first appearance he made, the little press conference about the timeline, the updated timeline for the release of the virus vaccines.
nah.
Hell say he hope he can warp speed his ass out of the White House. Hey, there's been some classic memes coming as a result of the election, and I am loving it, boy. I'm loving it.
Man. I saw one the other day. It was it was true, sad, and funny at the same time. Where what's the movie? Wolf of Wall Street,
Yeah.
where Leonardo DiCaprio, like where he's giving this big speech
Oh
and like
Lord.
everybody's planning for him to leave.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
just like, I'm not leaving.
You see
And
how
he's like,
his homeboys was hype.
yeah.
Hey man, did you what let's do your did we do the women yet? We didn't do Miss Black Awareness Rally.
Nah,
Let's
go
get that out of
ahead.
the way.
Run your
Yeah, I got Vicky Free, no relation to Mickey Free from from Prince and the Revolution. She's a young lady that joins Adidas as the senior vice president of global marketing. Um, she's going to join them and assume the role in January. And worldwide marketing development, is it me or is Adidas really making a concerted effort to kind of do some public facing events for the black community between like the Beyonce and the Rihanna collaborations, Kanye, even though can't say it's black much anymore.
Well, I
And
mean, you got to remember that Kanye did kind of publicly put that pressure on Adidas, though. I
yeah,
mean, so we got to give credit to him for that.
okay.
You
All
know,
right.
he did.
Well, yeah. Well, shout outs to
But this might be a result of
I
that
mean,
pressure that Kanye put on.
somebody got to be the first to die in the battle. So, maybe. Uh, but I ain't gonna be so quick to give him the credit for that. I'm gonna let you have that one. But shout out to Vicky Free for the
Funny.
position. Huh? You just pointed out. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. What you got?
I got something actually that you put on my radar. As Biden has started to put together his cabinet and and things or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
he did put together his COVID task force,
Right.
and a young sister made that team as let me read it. Miss Marcella Nuez Smith will serve as one of the three co-chairs of President elect Corona Task Force.
Okay.
So we want to give a shout out to Miss Marcella Nuez Smith for getting that nod to help save the world right now.
Time and time again, some way, shape, or form, a sister to the rescue.
Yeah,
So,
that's as major as it gets. Is her being on that task force to kind of help curb things. Because I mean, as I said, I don't think it's getting as much as attention as it was before, and maybe it's with the election, or maybe we just have COVID fatigue. But it is real and popping out here in these streets with the amount of people that are being affected, the amount of people that are being hospitalized, and things of that nature. So I know it's not something that's real appetizing thing to talk about or real entertaining thing to talk about, but it is real, and people are feeling the effects of it. So
true. Uh, Dre gave us a bit of information about how Adidas is turning around and making this run that they're making. He's saying a lot of the reason that they're going after entertainers is because they can't afford to pay them athlete endorsements like Nike can. So appreciate that info, Drill. Drill's always pretty handy when it comes to business moves, major corporations, and the history of it. So appreciate that.
yeah,
Uh,
I mean, Nike has done it a little bit. I mean, they have the Travis Scott um, sneakers, so Nike has done it a little bit. I
yeah.
mean, Travis Scott has. I think he has one pair of Jordans already. I think he's coming out with a second pair of Jordans.
No, I think he had like 5 pair of Jordans.
What's that?
He got a lot of Jordans. He got his whole line now called the Cactus Jacks. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
he got quite a few of them. But now you're right. Um, uh, but to your point about the task force and the sisters jumping in, let's not forget about Dr. Kizmikia Corbett. She's the head of the NIH, National Institute of Health, and they are the accounts that I've heard, they're slated to be second to develop a vaccine right behind Pfizer. So um,
Okay,
let's
cool.
not forget about that sister. She's still doing big things, and you know, sister saving the world, sister saving the world. So shouts out to the sisters for being consistent, because it takes some work to show up time and time again, every time. Um, yeah. Let's see. Dress and Adidas from the bad with Kanye. He's been doing
No,
this
he's
since
saying
day one.
Nike from the back with Kanye.
Oh, okay, yeah. Nike did drop a big one. But anyway, another show, another talk. Let me see. LA saying real talk. What is the appeal of Travis Scott? Maybe showing my age here. Man, he makes hot music. LA. You know how it go. As long as you can make a product that people want, that'll also translate into you attempting other business ventures. And this young man has been putting in work. I want to say maybe a little over 10 years now. He's been on the radar as a rapper. I know for at least the last 6 years, been doing a lot of collaborations with some of the heavy hitters in the game. He's also a producer, LA. So he
Yeah,
not only
and I
raps, he's
feel
a
you.
producer.
When I saw a few things that like all the things that he was like he had his own mill at McDonald's and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I kind
Hmm.
of thought the same thing as LA. But from what I understand, it's not just his music, but his following is like loyal as all
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
from what I understand.
I
So it
mean,
shows you that it's not the most not the person who puts out the best content or the most talented people, but the people who have the most loyal following.
yeah. Yeah.
And people put shell out buku bucks like for his concerts and for his apparel and everything like that. So these companies have taken a note of how his following is, and
How much of that do you think we should attribute to what you talk about his mass appeal or his crossover appeal? How much of that should we attribute his romantic entanglement with? I think it was Kylie Jenner, I believe. I think they got a kid together or something like that. You know, she's like
um,
one of the world's top influencers or some junk. I
I
just,
mean that could be something major. I mean, whatever they touch seems to turn to gold. So
yeah, just good marketing, good
yeah.
pitch man, as they say. Well, shout out to him, man. He seems to be doing it the right way. Seems to be keeping his name out of dirt. So, hey, man, props to anybody that's getting it legally. So, big up to him. But we was talking about sports a second ago. God, I think we'll take a back seat to that. We'll do that second topic. There's like a whole existential thing I want to talk about that. There's a conversation came up this week, and it got me to thinking about our adventures on the basketball court as teammates. But news this week: Trump has been in hiding for about 9 days since the election results. That press conference he released about the vaccine was the first time he had made a public appearance or been heard publicly outside of Twitter. And boy, out here still dropping them salacious statements about China virus and this is the fastest anybody's ever done it to develop a vaccine. Um, I don't feel good about that. How you feel about Trump trying to take credit for the vaccine being created in a warp speed?
Um, it's almost like he causes a major catastrophe and he's happy because he helped clean it up. But if you if you wouldn't have caused a catastrophe in the first place, it wouldn't be that big of a deal
Yeah,
for us to have a
vaccine created that quick.
vaccine. So it's like one of my kids coming to me saying, "Hey, Daddy, I cleaned the milk that I spilled." It's like, well, you caused it, so it's your job to clean it up. But
Yeah, doing your
so
job.
yeah, so that's how I feel about it. I mean, the more troubling thing to me is that not only has the way he approached losing the election,
Hmm.
but that people are like uh helping this man justify how he's acting by holding rallies for him,
Yeah,
and
the Million MAGA March.
he collected money. And I heard something. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. he's collecting money for their legal defense fund. You know how churches got a building fund?
Yeah.
He has a legal defense fund to where it's like we're gonna need money to fight this battle. And then I heard like people go to this website and contribute money, but there's like a disclaimer at the very bottom that they can use, I think, a certain percentage of the money to their discretion. So some people are saying that this is like one last ploy for him to, get paid off the presidency. So
Damn.
yeah, so
This dude don't stop, boy.
yeah, Elliot just said a billion in value.
Jesus Christ. And these
So
people literally out here fighting for this cat. I don't know if you saw it, a Twitter post. There was a couple riots and looters. Well, I don't know if they looted anything, but there was this big dust up between warring factions at the MAGA March yesterday. How you feel about them trying to co-opt the Million Man March slogan and turn it to Million MAGA March and showing up at the White House for no legitimate reason?
as I said, man, this might come off the wrong way, but they are experts at marketing. Like their marketing and advertisement, like if you want to put the Dems and the Repubs in a marketing
Oh, you're
race,
gonna lose. The Dems gonna lose.
Dems gonna lose every time.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't miss they don't miss when it comes to marketing. They do not miss.
Nah.
So yeah, so I wasn't surprised um that they did it. Honestly, a tad bit funny. I mean, you're not supposed to laugh at it, but
I mean, like you right, man. They masters at co-opting some crap. I mean, it's just how they do, bro. Like they're gonna take whatever hot and they're gonna spend it for their benefit. So I guess in that regard, that makes a lot of sense. Nah, man, I thought it was I saw a video that somebody had put together with Alex Jones like calling people to attention for the march, and the way it was produced, it looked like somebody just made their own compilation in their basement and throw a graphic up at the end. But when I saw it catching steam around the internet on different platforms, I was like, yo, these cats really finna show up to the White House and protest what? What they claim they Alex Jones said he was put on earth at this time by God to be the savior
oh Jesus, Jesus.
for this time, for this specific moment in history. And don't worry, Donald Trump, man of God, we come to Calvary's coming to rescue you. Like rescue you from what? So uh it got funny. I didn't get a chance to like tap into it and kind of keep up with it. Because I kind of didn't want to give it any views, but I did want to see the pictures or whatever that might have come from it.
Yeah.
And apparently, just like they leader in cheese, this cat, they had been circulating pictures exaggerating the size of the crowd. And I saw a parody of them exaggerating with somebody sharing pictures from the 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers March parade, talking about they was trying to brag on how big it was. I was like, man, I just wish people understood like what really be at stake when we talk about politics and social justice. Like it literally be white people not giving up this perceived position of superiority, and then a very few group of them actually not wanting to give up power. Uh, Another example of that, like perfectly encapsulated, was this senator that lost the race. I forget the state, but he showed up to the freshman orientation day, like the orientation, first day of orientation, the new senators, even though he lost, and was taking pictures. He was taking pictures with some of the other senators, like I'm ready for day one. And he lost to a black chick, and he got like mollywop. It was like 80% to 20%, and he still showed up. Like,
Man, it reminds me. I was Jamel Hill should be wilding on Twitter, and so it was this black Republican that I forget what he was running for, but he lost. I mean, it was like I think what like 65% to 35%, and he was like, so he was trying to jump on the fraud
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
train,
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah. I think I heard about it. It was like three of them that did that. It's like, nigga, yeah, we demanded a recount, and we want y'all to
yeah.
recount the votes. You had no loss, like,
Talk about I will not concede. It's like, dude.
ain't nobody paying you no attention, man. Duh, it just tripped me out because it's like, uh, they really believe that it's their right to be empowered. Like something's wrong if I'm not empowered. Somebody must have
Yeah.
cheated if I'm not empowered. If I don't win,
And the
is that like
fact
a
that I'm
sign of
not
confidence?
empowered shows you what's wrong with America. That's what they're saying. The fact that I'm not empowered, it proves that America is going down the drain.
Is that what does that mean? Like, is that a
It's
disease mindset?
entitlement.
Is
It's
entitlement,
entitlement. It's
or is
it's
that just
entitlement.
confidence?
I've never had to work for anything. I've been handed everything in my life, and everything that I've been handed to me, you're trying to take it away. That's what that is.
They fighting mad about it. They believe it's theirs. Like they will fight you for challenging
Yeah.
the notion. Now, you know how bad it is. I got this friend that worked for a public health department, and it's kind of like the CDC, but it isn't. And they were having this meeting, and they was talking to this white lady, and during the meeting, they were trying to come up with like some new policy they're going to implement, right? And so the white lady, there was like 3 or 4 hours into the meeting, and then the white lady started like getting off task and kept like fidgeting, wanting to tell you like personal stories about stuff. So my friend said they just stopped and pushed all the paperwork to the side and was like, what's going on? Like, where's the lack of focus coming from? And she said the white lady said, I voted for Donald Trump, and I'm a Republican. My friend was like, okay, what does that have to do with what we're doing? I just wanted you to know I'm a Republican, and I voted for him twice, and I believe in MAGA. My friend was like, okay, well, I'm glad that you want to share that with me. I just felt like you should know. So I'm thinking, listening to the story, I'm like, what is this? Do you think the black person you talking to is a vampire, and you saying you voted for Trump is holding up a cross? Like, what did you think was going to happen when you said you voted for Donald Trump? Like, what is the psyche? Does anybody understand what the point of sharing and fighting, even though you lost fair and square, and demanding a recount? What is that about?
Yeah. What the lady does not understand is that as black professionals, we've we've always had opposition, and we've always continued to do our jobs exceptionally well.
Yeah.
So you're saying that, oh, I oppose your views, like, well, join the club, like,
And that wasn't and it,
it's not gonna stop me from doing my job. Like, it might stop you from doing your job, but it's not gonna stop me. You're new
you,
to this. I've been doing this.
I,
So
I saw a lot of it's just been like a lot of memes just like joking about the situation, man. And one that stood out to me, people started putting together a collection of photographs with people crying and displaying sadness at the loss of Donald Trump.
oh wow.
Oh, thanks, Darren. Darren said it's about deaths of despair. So it's kind of like a rigor mortis thing. Maybe that's a good way to look at it. I know I've just been seeing these a lot of photos of people just like falling out on the floor crying, and they like full on MAGA gear, and people like consoling each other like with big tears because they lost. And it's just, I think they, like Darren said, they realizing that the jig is up. It's about time to hand it over. Hopefully the Senate happens the same way, but
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. There's no resiliency. It was like all or nothing. Like take this L and just move on. You'll be all right.
They ain't with it, man. I was telling the kids last night, all of that is rooted in the concept that you will not be able to have the life you want if you share with other people. Because if you share with other people, you're not going to be able to get the life that you're accustomed to having. Which again is a pretty effed up view to have from the first place. So, uh, but we got to blame the system. You know what I mean? The system is flawed for you to have that viewpoint. But I don't know, man. I like that Darren Miller. I like that Death of Despair. I'm gonna look that up. I really appreciate that. Shout out to Darren Miller and Elliot for providing some research for us to encapsulate in the conversation. I don't have my second laptop up and running right now, so I can't actually get into it while we're doing it like normal. But we're gonna go ahead and get into it. So, um, yeah, those are like the two biggest things I saw this week that just kind of tickled my fancy. Is something wrong with us for like laughing at them? Is that, huh? Are we bad people?
No, I mean, the thing is that it's nothing. The thing is that what do they expect us to do? Do they expect us to be like, oh, we're sorry you feel that way. We're going to overturn the results of this election and give you back your leader. Like what do you expect us to do? Like,
I don't know, man. I think, like y'all saying, Trump is starting to figure out it's over, and they starting to concede on a lot of issues. Oh crap, charger. Yeah. Uh, I forgot to bring my charger down. All right. Anyway. Next topic. Next topic. I want to talk about how competition kind of breeds confidence in other areas of life, namely, you know, basketball and Trump. Being a businessman thinking he can get money somewhere else. What you think of that?
what's that?
What you think about the concept of 'cause we were talking last week about a lot of African American men, not enough to do anything, but a small percentage of African American men aligning with Trump because they see him as a representation of confidence and they want to be aligned with something they think is a display of that.
Um, there's a nugget of truth in that, and it's not just them aligning with him, but it's also a referendum against the Democratic Party. I was looking at a couple of things this week, and I mean a lot of people feel like it's too PC, to where people, it's like people have to walk on eggshells. And a lot of people feel like the council culture is a huge thing behind that, to where people feel like it's kind of soft, snowflakeish to be aligned with the party, because everything is people get outraged over everything. You have to say and do everything correctly. I think that 45 has been the antithesis of that, of the opposite of that mindset. And so people are like, I think that's kind of pushing some people away of the left just kind of being so stringent and on everybody. So I think there is a little bit of a negative truth in that. I think now that seemed to regain the White House, I think it's something that the left has to kind of do some soul searching on and say, hey, are these extreme views that we're taking on everything, are we pushing people away as opposed to bringing people into the fold? So.
Uh, See the fellas going in the chat about basketball because we mentioned it, but I know I brought that up earlier because I was thinking, just how your confidence and competition kind of translates into other arenas. But I think what you're saying is a real big point. A lot of people have been discussing it, and it's starting to play out with the transition to a Democratic president in the media. We have so many different groups of people inside the Democratic Party that it becomes hard to come up with a simple bumper sticker slogan that the Republicans have had the ability to produce. And that's largely because the only thing they believe in is white supremacy. And if you're aligning with them, they just going to just help have you regurgitate and support white supremacy. So they can say four things and, you know, it just aligns with the whole tenet. Whereas opposed to Democrats, we have that's the party of everybody else that's not white supremacists. They have a lot of
And
stuff that they have to appeal to.
even that, but even that sentiment has somehow, some way pushed people away
From the Democratic Party?
from the Democratic Party. Yeah,
Yeah,
by them saying, "Oh, they're trying to tell me that I'm a white supremacist just because I agree with this party."
true.
I know that I'm sorry, I forget the brother's name, but the black senator out of either North Carolina or South Carolina, he was
Jim
saying that,
Clyburn. Hold on real
yeah,
quick. Talk about that. I'm gonna grab my charger. I'll be
no,
right back.
but he was talking this week, and he was saying that the defund the police message from the left um, hurt the campaign this cycle, and he was saying that we need to clean that kind of language up if we are going to be competitive in the upcoming Senate runoff that we have, as well as the 2022 election, because things like that are pushing people away when we just say defund the police, but we don't give an explanation behind it as to why it's necessary or what all it entails, as if we're trying to abolish the police department and not just reallocate funds to be proactive against crime as to being reactive to once crimes have already taken place. So, as I said, it's almost like now that you've won the election, now we can, face inward and review things and see what needs to be fixed and see what needs to be worked on so that the next time we'll be even better positioned to, to have the landslide victory that we're anticipating this cycle.
You think Jim Clyburn off his rocker?
What's up?
You think James Clyburn is off his rocker or he's representative? What's happening?
I am not understanding what you're saying.
My bad. I said you think James Clyburn, the Democratic senator from South Carolina, you think he's an outlaw or representative of Democratic Party?
Well, I mean, he's a representative of it. I mean, he's been strong and vocal this entire time, and he was major in helping Biden get the primary votes that he needed in that area when he was behind.
Okay, so let me rephrase this then, because that did happen. His endorsement is what tipped the scales in many experts' opinion. Let me ask this though: a lot of people, including some of the people that are leaving the party or saying that they just refuse to be aligned with it because they think Biden is racist, there are a lot of people that are saying they think it's old guard and that James Clyburn represents the old guard and that the current group that's coming up, like the one that got him elected, that got Biden elected in this last election, is a bit more radical. I hate that word. I don't like left, radical, progressive, but more innovative. Let's say innovative in their policy and aspirations than what has been custom. And as a result, we are seeing James Clyburn and a few other people like Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, giving pushback to what has become apparently the new voice of the party. Are we saying that?
Um, I mean, as I said, I don't think what he was saying was to say, hey, we're not for police reform. We're
Mm-hmm.
not for what he was saying is that look here, as politicians, you're only as good as if you can get elected. And if we are trying to win these positions and get elected to these positions or whatever, we have to clean up our messaging so that we
Yeah,
don't turn people off.
yeah. You
And
think
so
that?
that's the sentiment that I took his statements in of saying, hey, look here, if we're going to be the best, if we're going to be, if we're going to recruit the best people to this party or whatever, let's make sure that we have the best game plan moving forward. And I think that's what he was saying as somebody who is trying to, um, protect the party
Hmm.
and also continue to see it grow to what it can be. So that's the way that I took it of what he was saying.
Uh,
And I mean, and I think the strong Latino vote in Florida showed that a lot of people are afraid of socialism in this
where's
country.
socialism coming from?
I'm
What?
saying, but that's the message. That's the message that when they targeted Latinos in South Florida, that's the message that they sent to them is that this party will turn
Oh, yeah,
America.
yeah, 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 yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And if people have left, if people have left the country to where they were under a socialist regime or whatever, they're fighting. They uprooted their family and left
Hmm.
that, so they're not trying to go back to that. So that's what mobilized them to lean to his side in this election. So there are messages that the other party is sending out. There's messages that we're sending out, and what they're trying to say is that um, let's battle the message that they're sending out, but us also clean up the message that we're sending out to make sure that we are able to appeal to as many people as possible.
I'm gonna address that comment about the Florida Latinx community being afraid of socialism, quote unquote, because there's a lot of conversation centered around that. Darren said two interesting things in the chat. Old guard or new guard, I just want to win. The Democratic Party has definitely been labeled the party that finds a way to lose because they don't
Okay.
play to win. So that's definitely true. Another thing he said that I thought is also timely: the message cannot be national. Now, I don't know if he's referring to something like defund the police or that Jim Clyburn style of governance can't be national. But what I will say is that speaks to the concept that America is such a large country that it technically is a collection of 50 different countries. Or if you want to break it down to culture, 50 different regions, you need to tailor your message and your campaign ideas to that specific region if you want to have a turnout against the Republican Party, right? Because again, we're saying Republicans overwhelmingly just we want to get back to Jim Crow and slavery. We want to get as close as we can back to slavery, aka we just want white people to have free reign over everything. But everybody else has to consider everybody else's different feelings when they go to different parts of the country. So a lot of pundits I've been listening to about the Georgia Senate race have been disparaging folks like Jim Clyburn, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Barack Obama, even from coming down to Georgia and trying to help win the election because a lot of the people that actually gave Georgia to the Democrats don't listen to or can't be preached to using that one size statement fits all that the Democrats or basic political campaign rhetoric usually targets, right? So we'll usually see, you know, I love America. I got a dog and I just want to be free and walking in the cornfield and my wife is by my side and I got two kids and we just want to be free. Well, that Georgia ain't particularly rural in that sense. Like you can't appeal to voters in Atlanta with that message. It doesn't work. You know, you can't appeal to them with America first and pride and country because that doesn't appeal to the black voter. I mean, let's be honest. Atlanta and the metro area is just black. I mean, there's a consortium that's a little different, but it still kind of tends to lean toward some innovative policies that aren't popular, right? So I do think we have to start looking at politics as anybody that wants to be in power, except for conservative folk, we have to start tailor making each message to a different area differently, right? But I know one thing you will have to push back on is that concept that giving everybody the same access to something as socialism. Did you know that there are 37 developed countries according to all these indexes that rank and categorize countries and their ability to provide certain lifestyles for its citizens, right? And only one of the 37 developed countries in the world does not have universal and or free healthcare. Can you guess which country that is?
United States.
United States. Out of the top 10 of those, you got countries like Switzerland, the UK, places like Spain, Italy. We're the only one that's not offering free college tuition, right? So why is America still calling those two things socialist when the rest of the world is no longer discussing that stuff or whether it's a right for all of its citizens? It's not because it's socialist. It's not because if we do it, it's going to be the end of the world. Not because it's not possible. Because we're fucking evil. That's it. We don't want people to have access to care. We don't want people to have access to education. There's no evidence anywhere that it cannot work. If you try, you can make it work, right? So for anybody that's not aware, universal health care it means 90% or greater of the citizens in that country are insured with very, very low cost healthcare, right? Uh, Free healthcare means there's a single payer. It's either so cheap that you don't, it's kind of negligible, or it might as well be free, or it actually is free. And we the only country that's still out here trying to grapple with the concept of, well, does everybody deserve healthcare? Or, we have the most expensive system with the least comprehensive coverage in the developed world. At this point in the game, it's not because it's not happening in the rest of the world. It's because we have a system, again, that all about white male business ownership. No, it sounds cliche at this point, but let's be honest. These are the people that are still in the ruling class and people that want to benefit from the system that they set up. They don't want to ensure, let's be honest, human rights to people because they want to profit off of the despair of other people. And we have a real moral dilemma when we start discussing things that in terms of socialism and not socialism, right? Like the people that flee the Cuban regime. I don't know all of them, but as you know, there's a lot of Cubans that look like me and you in Cuba. We know that Cuba produces the most doctors per capita out of any nation in the world. We know that Cuba sends aid in the form of medical experts or doctors to other countries around the world. So you telling me there's something wrong with people becoming doctors and then going to other places to help people who don't have enough doctors? Is that really a bad thing? No. I can't see something wrong with giving more people access to opportunity, more access to education. So, a pushback to that uh, Florida Latinx community being overwhelmingly conservative in thinking is those are white Latinx community people. If you look at them, they more than often not are fairer skinned folk. If you talk to them, they have white supremacist ideals. They are very selfish in their thinking. And so, we know it's unfortunate because that lie has been permeated so much through society that we can't survive if we start to give people healthcare as if it's a right instead of something that they have to earn with money. Uh, I'm also starting to do a little bit more research on the concept that a lot of stuff that we tell each other about debt, national or otherwise, is a misnomer because the federal government's debt does not work like individual debt or state debt or local debt because America makes its own money and uses makes its own currency. We're not like other countries where we have to get currency from other folk. And so there is no one that we owe debt to, except for about 15% or 5% of it that we owe to China. But that's for trade issues. That doesn't affect me and you. It might make lotion be more expensive. It might cost, you know, in terms of shipping, but it don't affect me and you on the ground, right? Like take a concept like Dave Chappelle mentioned this the other day. Since we so obsessed with American jobs and bringing work back to America, are we okay with the concept that if we bring the production of iPhones back to America, that an iPhone gonna go from being $1,000 to maybe $5,000 because of the cost of labor in America as opposed to other countries? We okay with that? Do we really love America that much to pay $5,000 for an iPhone? These are the trade-offs that people have to be concerned about when they're just so blindly patriotic for a system that is exploitative in its operation, right? I'm not going to say socialism or capitalism is better. It's the people that are making the systems work. You fucked up. It don't matter what system you try to operate in. If you just all about self, you're gonna have the same result. So I think Clyburn need to sit his ass down. Uh, let these people in Atlanta that are claiming for, I mean Georgia, that are clamoring for defund the police, deal with the issues that they see fit, how they see fit. Because Clyburn, much like John Lewis, unfortunately, couldn't come to Georgia, and get people excited about turning out to vote. John Lewis had died. John Lewis won campaigning in this last election and was the reason that 90% of 18 to 29-year-olds showed up to vote. You think James Clyburn can talk to an 18 to 29-year-old about their needs and what they need to be doing to get out and vote? Nah. Uh, it's a
I
lot
mean,
of
they
problems.
were. I heard something today where they don't even want Joe Biden to come down to Georgia.
To be honest with you, man, they need to stay out the way and let Stacey keep doing what she's been doing. And the people like Stacey. The New Georgia Project, the Black Voters Matter Project, the Fair Act, Black Male Voter Project. Let them keep doing what they've been doing. Like I've been seeing a lot of people saying, stay out the way. Don't donate to certain programs because all they're doing is making commercials with the money and buying yachts with the rest of it. And let the rest of the people that have been doing the work continue to do so. Darren, what's the documentary Cuba on? Because if it's trying to convince me that you shouldn't give universal education and healthcare to people, I'm not gonna watch it. There's nothing anybody can say to me that will convince me to say universal healthcare or free healthcare isn't doable, should not happen. There's nothing you can say to me that has me to believe free college education isn't doable or shouldn't happen. Like players, we got like 6 or 7 states in the country right now that already offer free college healthcare, right? I mean, free college.
Um, I did not know that.
Yeah,
I
college.
think some states offer free community college, right?
Yeah, but
Or is it
college is
4 years?
college. Yeah, some people got 2 years. Some people got jobs training certification. Then some people just have 4 years. But you gonna tell me that somebody shouldn't go to college because it's free? Or how about this? Here's one argument that I know is always gonna come up. Well, if we give universal or free healthcare to people, that's going to stress the doctors out because it's not going to be enough doctors to service all the needs of the people. How do you fix that? You make more doctors. So in turn,
Yeah, and right now the thing that people are reluctant about going into the medical profession is one, the amount of time, and two, the amount of money because they come out 200, $300,000 in debt. Because there's actually been a lower number of people that actually want to go into the medical profession as
or
before.
education, but don't want to work that hard for that cheap behind salary. But no, you're right, man. I just think that as citizens, we're letting a lot of misinformation keep us from demanding stuff that the rest of the world is already giving people. Right? America ain't even first in the developed countries list. America ain't first in education. America ain't first in medical attention. Where we get this false idea that America's the best?
We
Maybe
say
huh?
we are.
We just say it. Don't make it true. You know what I mean? We just say
Just
it.
like just like I won the election. We
Yeah,
say it.
we just saying it. Don't make it true. And then, unfortunately, a lot of people believe it because they just want it to be true. I just, man, back to the same person. The story about the lady telling my friend there was a Trump supporter. The lady is a mother, and she's the mother of a college-age daughter. And in the same conversation, they were like, um, "Our whole family's Trump supporters. We've been Republicans and conservatives forever." And I'm disappointed with my daughter because she's gone to college and changed into a Democrat. What does that say about America when we're hell bent on keeping people ignorant? And when they find out stuff, they start to change their viewpoint. Is that because the devil got them? Is that because they've been brainwashed? Or is it because they just see more information and they kind of start to form a different opinion about the world? You know how dependent the Republican Party was on. Matter of fact, this is how bad it is. 'Cause I know we talked about this a few episodes ago, but some people might not know. The There was a high-ranking official in the Donald Trump cabinet that would go around the country and give speeches at high school graduations. And in the speeches, he would try to discourage people from going to college. Why would you discourage people that just graduated high school from going to college? So you can keep them blindly loyal to the conservative ideologies that benefit 1% of the country. You know the term they call the term snowflakes. Anybody that goes to college and starts thinking about the world in a cosmopolitan view instead of my neighborhood, my little podunk town first, they call them snowflakes. They even slapping labels on them to say they soft and liberals. You soft because you want everybody to have equal opportunity? You soft because you want to have everybody to have equal access to education? So I don't know, man. I used to get called radical. Now they just call me crazy. Who said that?
They used to call me
Crazy. Now they call me
Crazy
Batman.
Joe. Now they call me Batman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, hey man, y'all send money to New Georgia Project. Send money to Black Male Voters Project. Send money to Black Voters Matter. Send money to Fair Fact. I mean Fair Fight. You can go to gasenate.org or .com. Donate there. Uh, when you are donating to these political action campaigns and committees, please be mindful of what they do with the money. Ask them, are they giving the money to the canvassers or the workers on the ground, or are they just sending money to this consultant that's just gonna make commercials and stay off the streets? So, Archie Bunker used to call us what snowflakes on the show. Oh, call his son-in-law snowflake. Yeah, man. Ain't that a problem, Terrell? 50 years later, well, almost 60 years later, a pejorative term is still in circulation. Hey, man. Southern strategy, the huge proponent of it was to get people to believe that taxes should be as low as possible. And that was done in the mindset of, who benefits most from the federal government sending taxes to states? Black people. So if you out here hollering, lower taxes, you saying some white supremacist shit. That's That's history. You can't spend that no other kind of way. Let's be real. If you ain't got enough money to pay the proposed increased taxes, you need to go talk to your local property appraiser and ask him why he keep trying to change the tax rate on your property. 'Cause that's who's in charge of it. Oh, by the way, you vote that person in the office. There's systems in place, guys, for you to get the life that you want. It's just nobody's trying to get you to believe that you don't need a better life as long as you keep things the way they were in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 30s, 20s. They want you to be a slave. Slaves, they want us to be slaves again. They can get as close as they can to slavery, boy, the happier they'll be. So I do not understand anybody that's out here repeating these tenets for the conservative party. I do not understand why the Democratic Party is afraid to call for more innovative policies. Only thing I can say is you selfish as fuck. You don't want people to have access to the shit that you have. Man on the castle wouldn't have to worry about people robbing him if he went out and helped the people get the castle that he has. Makes sense, right? Yeah, no?
Yeah.
Makes sense to me. That's what Fred does across the street. He feeds everybody in the neighborhood on game day. Like about 20 minutes, they finna pull the garage up and they finna have a cookout. Whoever want a plate can come get one. Does he have to worry about kids breaking in his house and stealing shit? If he feed them, probably not. Slavery is how nations build an empire. People just trying to recreate the formula. Fred. Yeah, it's all about greed, man. Good Earth has plenty for everybody to have what they want for what they need. Anyway, go Patriots. You're a Patriots fan, right?
No.
No? Colts.
Nah. I mean, that was when Tony Dungy was there.
Who your football team now?
Don't really have one. I mean, I normally root for black coaches and black quarterbacks. I mean, that's just that's just.
Yo, speaking of which, I keep forgetting this. Why is nobody covering the Pittsburgh Steelers with the vigor that they deserve? Aren't they still undefeated?
They are, but they're like a very, very shaky undefeated team. Like I rock with because I like Mike Tomlin is to me like he's just the realest. Like not football coach. He might be the realest person on earth. Like to me, like that's just Mike Tomlin. Like if I'm going to war,
straight shooter.
Like, hey, Mike, come on.
Yeah, straight shooter. You ain't gonna get no misconceptions.
Yeah, it's so so I watch all their games and everything, whatever, but it's like the shakiest 8-0 team. Like they play the Bengals today, and I'm like, I can see the Bengals beating them. Like that's just how they are as 8-0.
But then I guess that's a credit to coaching because then last year they overperformed with like 5 backup quarterbacks.
Yeah, because they kept getting hurt. Roethlisberger got hurt, and then Myles Garrett went after the boy.
Listen, man, that's a. No, hey, Myles Garrett still with the Bengals?
No, Myles Garrett's with the Browns.
Yeah. I was getting too mixed up.
Yeah.
Drug said they ain't winning the chip. That's why they ain't getting no press. Hey, man, look, this coronavirus gonna stop playing. We ain't gonna have no chip this year. Football ain't like the NBA, boy. No bubbles.
Yep.
But anyway, man, we're gonna hit the hour 15-minute mark. Know the game's from the start. Hey man, thanks to Darren Miller, LaShante Keys, Jason Ham, Elliot Charles, Kendra Watkins.
Yeah, we didn't get to go too deep in it, but Darren mentioned, hey, how he has his MD and how, how much debt that getting that.
Oh, yeah, he posted that?
Yeah.
He said how much debt was what now?
How much debt that getting his MD created for him. So
You think, hey, Darren, if you're still here, would you have been in favor of free college? I mean, I don't know. He's a doctor. I definitely have to respect his experience, opinion on it. How you feel about this science coming out, man? These scientists getting all this credit now in this next coming administration. We feeling good about that? You feel like we're gonna be able to get back to normal faster?
well, that's the thing is that I think the scientists felt ignored by the last administration. And so now I think now is they're like, oh, well, somebody's gonna listen to me now.
Yeah,
So I think that's kind of you know, the what's happening behind that over the last couple of weeks since the election is that all right now people are willing to listen and honestly he's built a team of scientists and people that have been involved in the different positions that he's put together the different teams that he's put together
yeah,
he's included not just appointing people that he knows or appointing people who he owes favors to but putting people in who have earned the titles and the accreditations. Like that's one thing that I've seen that's different in the short amount of time that he's been putting together a staff
true.
is that it's like people who really really know what they're doing and not just nepotism or
Yeah,
playing favorites or saying hey this guy loaned me $1 billion let me put him on the staff.
true. I I heard a stat last night or not before last. It says we need 2/3 of the country to take the vaccine in order for it to effectively eliminate the pandemic status here for us. And I'm just really worried about the confidence and messaging that is gonna have to be in place for that to get people to take the vaccine. The law knows I'm nervous about it, and I'm a proponent of taking it. So, but you know, God be with us.
I think it depends on who's sending the message. And I think that like you send a doctor up there,
Yeah,
somebody up there who's going to explain everything, as opposed to somebody who's just going to try to, and that's the whole thing is that I think like what Biden was saying in his you know, speech, after he won, is that he wants to be the president for everybody.
right.
And I think 45 only wanted to be the president for half the country. Like
Himself.
that's very very clear. And so I think that even with the mask thing, like the mask thing is a political like it's a political thing. It's like I don't wear a mask because I'm showing allegiance to my party. Like who when has something like that ever been in place or whatever? So I think that with him wanting to take care of everybody, he's going to put smart people in front of. Um, he's going to put smart people in front of Americans and give them all the information so people can make the best decisions for themselves.
Why
How
are
they
we
want.
not taking vaccines, guys? Are we still believing the conspiracies about them? No, there's no 100% effective solution to any problem.
Well, I think a lot of people think it's like like they don't know what they're going to put them. Is it a way for them to track people? Like people,
Well, where's
I
that's
mean, but I would be interested to know like um, L.A. He mentioned that he's not
yeah.
taking any
Kendra
vaccine,
said something similar.
and he's close to the medical profession, so he can probably speak at a lot more higher level of understanding than we can. So
I don't know, man. I had you remember Wayne? Uh,
yeah,
Wayne said he's not. He's practicing now as a physician. He's saying he's telling people not to take the first batch of vaccines because it's too fast. I'm just like, man, this is gonna be rough, dude. Because if those numbers are true that the scientists gave about we need 67% of the country to take the vaccine, I'm like, man, I don't know how this is gonna work. like it just speaks to the lack of confidence that we have in our government. So, uh, not unwarranted, it's not unfounded. Uh, Antipathy is the problem we're dealing with now, not apathy. So we're gonna have to
Yeah.
figure something out. So, uh,
I just know that a lot. I think people will get comfortable with things getting back to the way they were before with the more people that take the vaccine. Like, I've had conversations, whether it be, um, you know, professionally, where people are like, yeah, man, we'll, be traveling and we'll be doing things that we normally do once we're comfortable with everybody taking the vaccine.
yeah,
So, I think that it's a level of comfort for everybody. And they may be playing on people's comfort level of pushing it, fast or whatever, or, slipping something into it. I'm just, I'm just trying to see what people's hesitations are, because people are just saying, "Oh, I'm not taking it," but I don't know why they're not taking it.
yeah. I mean, I get it. You know what I mean? Like you want it to
Like, I
work.
won't be the first in line. I'll be like, I ain't gonna be like, "Hey, I'm first." Like,
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Like I said, I I know people in the labs that are. I respect their opinion on medical stuff. You know, Glenn said he gonna be the first in line, and
Oh, okay,
his homeboy that he works with on the same issue, but he, across the country, they both saying they're gonna be first in line, and they
that's
got
good though.
kids, and they, Glenn's motivation is I got kids, I'm trying to get it done. So, you know, uh, LA, we got too many black folk in the industry now for that to be the same stance at this point in the game. LA said the historical history of the mistreatment of African Americans. Dang it, the quote went away. You got the pledge. You can see it.
The historical history of the medical treatments of African Americans in studies, but also test subjects are predominantly white, which may have a different side effects or no effects in African Americans. And I understand that, and that's why they were. And one of the things that slowed the trials down was that they have to study large groups of people or whatever, and they were saying black people were reluctant to participate in the test trials
Yeah,
of vaccine or whatever, which
yeah.
slowed it down because they have to know how it affects all different types of people. Because as you see, the virus affects black people
Worse.
different.
Right, right.
So the treatment can affect. So I mean, and
It's a catch 22, man. I definitely agree. It's a catch 22 because, like I said, LA's viewpoint is not unfounded, and like I said earlier, instead of people being apathetic, it causes people to be they they just out and out just don't trust it. And I know African American men don't trust medical anything. We the least
we
represented when it comes to hospitals, bro. We
don't
just
even go say what's up to the doctor.
yeah, like I broke my leg. I'll be all right. I'm gonna sleep it off.
Put some tussin in
Put some
there.
tussin on it, right? But we gotta figure out how to change that narrative because it's a lot of sisters doing the work now, and we know sisters want us to be well because they want to be with us, and so
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think that that's one reason why representation in the medical field,
agreed
um,
everywhere.
you know, to make sure that stuff like that um, can't be pulled on us. Because I mean, I ain't gonna lie. The first call I'm gonna make is to my family members who are in the medical field and say, "Hey, how do you feel about this?"
Hmm. Hmm.
And if thankfully, they've gone through that process, and they've been, got those credentials behind their name or before their name, and and thankfully they still answer my call or my text, and so I'm gonna lean on them
We're
to
gonna we're gonna need we're gonna need Darren Miller to give us some insight. Darren, hey Darren, come through, come through, come through. So anyway, but yeah. All right, man. Uh, you know, ended up on vaccines. That was weird,
yeah.
but yeah, got a lot of problems in front of us, folk, and we got a lot of work to do. But don't none of this stuff matter if we can't get a Senate in place that's willing to look out for more than 15% of the population. Right now, your boy Mitch McConnell is in there with them decaying ass hands, trying to spread death and disease and famine to as many people as possible. So I don't know if y'all know, but the Civil Rights Act is on the chopping block, and your boy Mitch McConnell had legislation sitting on his desk for years that he refuses to at least look at. We need to get this cat out of the way. Anyway, yeah, man. Uh, subscribe, like, share. Subscribe, like, share. Subscribe, like, and share. Facebook, Instagram, wherever you see us. We're on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple, YouTube, Stitcher, Pocket Radio. Tell you people, tell you people. Thank you for rocking with us. Oh yeah, man, y'all ain't never seen Mitch McConnell hands?
Oh
Have you seen
yeah,
Mitch McConnell hands?
yeah. I saw a picture of him.
Them shits look like a big ass grape. But anyway,
Yeah, I
uh,
mean, no shade. It looked like they were a black dude's hands.
yeah, I mean he literally looks like a dead man.
Yeah.
So anyway, whatever. But yeah, thank you guys for rocking with us. We appreciate the feedback and the interaction. It has been lovely this week, and it has been
Yes.
timely. So thank you guys.
Appreciate you. Peace.